Well, joining me now from Israel's border with Gaza, former chief of staff to Benjamin Netanyahu and a major in the Israeli Special Forces Reserves, Naftali Bennett. Naftali, thank you for joining me today.
Good to be on the show, Governor.
Let's talk about how this all started, because I'm afraid the international media may try to describe this as Israeli aggression. But this is a response to what has been a relentless assault by the Hamas toward Israel.
Yeah, I think your typical American doesn't know what's happening on ground. 7 years ago, Israel vacated the Gaza Strip and handed the entire land over to the Palestinians. The Palestinians formed an independent government. They have a state, a Palestinian state in Gaza, a free state. They run it. But days after we vacated it in 2005, they began shooting missiles on civilians in Israel. And ever since, they just went on and on shooting missiles. We're right now, I'm standing in the southern part of Israel. 1 million civilians in this area are right now in shelters, enduring hundreds of missiles being shot at us without provocation. A few days ago, enough was enough, and Prime Minister Netanyahu authorized the killing of the commander of the Hamas forces. Hamas is the terrorist arm of Iran here in the region, and we took him out. And since then, we've been in this conflict where they shoot missiles on our civilians, and we retaliate against their military. I just want to be clear. We do not shoot on civilians. They're the ones shooting at our civilians, and we only hunt down the terrorists themselves.
Naftali, there has been wide-scale reports that in Gaza, sometimes the munitions and even the rocket launchers are placed in schools or in mosques in order to essentially make them very difficult for Israel to hit. Can you confirm that that is one of the strategies that Hamas has employed so that they essentially are using children as human shields?
That's correct. By the way, this is the Islamic tactic. I've seen it with my own eyes. I'm a major in a commando unit. In many houses in the Hamas areas, you have a living room, a kitchen, and a missile room with a removable ceiling. So you have a missile launcher standing, move the ceiling, shoot the missile on us, on the Israelis, and then cover up. In essence, they're using children and kindergartens and hospitals as human shields. We are being as cautious as we can, but you know, Governor, when they shoot at us, at my own children, we will retaliate, we will persevere, even if they use human shields.
Naftali, it sounds like the only way to effectively clean Gaza out from the terrorism is that you're going to have to physically go in there in a land action, because you can't do that all from the air. How close do you think we are to a ground invasion into Gaza by the Israeli Defense Forces?
Governor, I think you're right. There's no choice but to enter and clean it up. I don't know what the chances are over the next 24 or 48 hours, but I think that at some point we will need to go in. I just want to point out, it's not only a battle between an army and terrorists. This is a battle of spirit. Where we stand right now, we're at the forefront of a big wave of radical Islam that's out to eliminate the whole free world. It just happens to be that this is the front line. It's a battle of spirits. They think that if they shoot another missile and another one, they'll wear us out. I'm here to tell Prime Minister Hania and the Hamas, we've been in this land for over 3,800 years. We're not going anywhere. We're here to stay. You might come and go, but we're going to fight as much as we need. I've got 4 kids, but I'm willing to put on my fatigue and go and fight, just as every Israeli. The 1 million Israelis right now in the shelters are very strong and are willing to endure it as long as necessary, because this is our land and we're not going anywhere.
It sounds like, Naftali, that there is an extraordinary resolve on the part of the Israeli people, and I've sensed that from Tel Aviv all the way down to Beersheba. In just a final word, does this look like it could be resolved by diplomacy? Is that still possible?
You know, with terrorists, you don't talk. Terrorists, you kill. I don't recall that on September 12th, anyone in the United States intended to engage in diplomacy with Al-Qaeda and bin Laden. This is precisely the situation. There's a terrorist group not far from here that's out to kill my own children. We're not going to talk to it. We're going to fight as much as necessary, and we're going to win.
Naftali, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Be safe, my friend. Take care, and our thoughts and prayers are with you.
Thank you very much. It's great to have your backing.
I've known Naftali for quite some time, and what you just heard is what you would hear from many Israeli citizens if you were on the streets right now talking to them. They understand something a lot of Americans don't know. You cannot negotiate with radical terrorists. They have but one goal. That's to kill us. They're not interested in talking and making peace and having a nice conversation. They're interested in winning and us losing, and by that whole process, that means we lose our lives, our culture, our civilization, our country, and our identity. If you're willing to let your children die, all in the name of talking about peace, good luck. But I think the Israelis have it right. The only way you stop a cancer is to eliminate it. And I think that's what we're going to see happen.